All right, what is up, everyone? Whoops, everyone on YouTube. So this is an update on something I did a long time ago, which is the video about a year ago, which is the video on my 30-day challenge, my 30 days of pickup, which was super crazy, to say the least. To say the least, it was crazy. So anyways, I wanted to make an update video because I feel like at the time I was really inexperienced and naive. It had only been really 30 days since I had been doing it. And, now that I've been doing it for longer, I've been doing it a bit over a year now, on and off, but actually more on than off, to be honest. I feel like there's more insights and greater depth I can go into it. So in the last video, I was really talking a lot about just the 30-day challenge, what I experienced emotionally, and what it was like for me to do the 30 days challenge and why I did it in the first place. So 30 days of cold approach pickup, and I was doing day game at the time, which is just going out during the daytime and just going and talking to random girls on the street. So actually shortly after I made that video, I kept doing pickup and then ended up in a relationship, which was an awesome relationship, awesome girl. She was super cute, super hot, to be honest, and also just a great personality. She was like really fun, extroverted, really different from some of my previous relationships, and we had a great time. Unfortunately, she went to Japan, so she left, and it didn't work out because she's in fucking Japan. But nonetheless, it was a super awesome experience, and we still talk to today because we're still good friends, and it was awesome. That's all I can say about that. Now, in the previous video, I was like talking a lot about how the emotional roller coaster and how I was feeling jaded. And let me explain some things that I've gathered insight on now that it's been over a year. So I officially started July 12th. That was my first day ever. And now it is, at the time of the recording, this is July 31st. So it's been a little bit over the year. So shortly after I made that video in August, I ended up getting a girlfriend and dated until December, and which after that I pretty much started gaming again. And what I've actually come to realize is that the reason why that I may have had such a negative and a jaded outlook on game when I made the last video is because I hadn't fully realized the depth of what I was actually getting myself into. You know, a lot of us, we come into game for a singular end in mind. We want to either there's a lot of people who are virgins. They just want to lose their virginity. There's some people, they want to get revenge on their ex. Real shit, let's keep it real. That's a part of the reason why I started game, to be honest. Some of us just want to have a girlfriend, or some of us are seriously looking to find like a wife and settle down. And some people just want to think it's a lot of fun and want to pimp it. And those are all, I would say, super valid reasons for doing game. I don't think there's really a right or wrong way to do game. I mean, on a moralistic level, maybe some types of game or some reasons of doing game, oh my god, there's a bunch of mosquitoes here, are like evil or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, game is game, and talking to women is talking to women, whether you're consciously aware of what you're doing because you like go on the internet and watch these videos of other guys talking to girls, which sounds super weird now that I'm saying it, or you just do it because that's something to do. That's what life's about. Fucking mosquitoes. I don't really see that I don't really see game in a way where now, at least, where I'm as judgmental about it, you know. I used to see it in a way where I would like I had cycles, right? So when I first started, I was super duper into game. Like, oh my god, I went out literally every day for 30 days and talked to at least 5 people, talked to 5 girls, and like, yo, that's all we fucking did. And sometimes we would just go off in downtown because it was summertime. We would just be there for like 8 hours a day, just doing that all fucking day long. And then I, around the time where my 30-day challenge ended, started getting a little jaded, started to not like game. I was like, yo, fuck game, you know, what's the point of doing this? I just want to like not have to worry about game, not think about game, not have to put in so much energy. And I was just kind of getting like I was losing hope, actually, that I would even meet anyone again. But then I actually did find somebody, funny enough. And then, but the weird part about that is that actually fueled my evidence against game. I was just like, yo, fuck game. Maybe it doesn't actually work. And you know, the chode way of just having a relationship for your whole life is the way to go. But then after that relationship ended, I started to really look at myself and be like, you know, what is it in me that I'm fucking just, I just can't be happy, whether I'm in a relationship, whether I'm single, whether I'm like going out daily or I'm not going out at all. What is this like void that I'm really trying to fill? Like, not me hypothetically as like an intellectual me, but like me just looking at my own life, like me, Richard Park, as a human being, and looking at my own emotions and my own bullshit, not just going online and taking in other people's philosophies and stuff like that. So I had a lot of time to contemplate that in my trip to Korea, because in Korea I wasn't seeing anyone familiar. I was pretty much by myself. It was me and my mom. It was a lot of time of isolation, and obviously I don't really speak Korean well, so I wasn't comfortable gaming. So I had like 21 days to just kind of chill out. I couldn't even drink because I did LASIK eye surgery. Can't smoke weed in Korea. There's no fucking, you're going to jail, straight to jail if you do that shit. So I just had time to just chill out and examine my life. And one of the things I examined a lot was doing pickup, and just my intimate relationships and my just my intimate relationships in general. I was able to look at that and really ask myself those questions, like, what the fuck am I actually doing? Like, I'm either for a month going out every day and just like using a whole lot of my time and energy to do this, or I just have periods where I just am like, fuck game. So I didn't find that either or was very productive. I didn't find that going all out all the time was productive, because then it was hurting my business and hurting my other parts of my life, like my fitness. And then I also found that if I'm just like this hermit, it's kind of lonely. Like, you know, I'm just not talking to any girls. It kind of sucks, to be honest. So then I came back and I just came to the conclusion that it's really about a balance. You know, game and life itself is really about a balance. I want to make this video more about game, but to be honest, it's just such a small part of your life, right? Hello.
Hi.
You don't really, I don't think it's very healthy for you to dedicate your whole life to game. It's actually pretty retarded if you think about it, unless you're actually going to go ham and become an instructor, and you know, it's your calling, it's your passion, you want to do it. Even in those cases, you should still have like something on the side, like a job, to hold you down while you build up your clients and shit. And so what's the point of this video is just to put into perspective that the reason why I was so jaded and like so sad about game was because I was too invested in gaming. You think that, okay, so it's like this. You come into game because you have like one-itis, or you feel very invested in one girl, and you're just like, oh man, if I could just solve this problem of fucking of getting girls handled, like if I could just get this handled, then my life would be so great. So then you get into game, you get your skills up, and then you're like, oh shit, this part of my life is handled, but I'm still not happy. Then you go out and either you go to the opposite spectrum, which is just you stop gaming because you're just not happy, or you just try to push it to the like stratosphere and keep going all out. But in that sense, you're still dependent on something else. Now it's not this one girl that you thought was super cute or your ex-girlfriend, but you're dependent on this validation that you're getting from all these girls. You're getting the validation that you're even getting from your wings in the gaming community, and that becomes its own sort of drug. And I think that's very natural for that to happen. That's probably the reason why I got so good, is because it literally was like a drug for me. In the beginning, I was just doing it all the fucking time. But again, true satisfaction doesn't come from that, and I don't think that true satisfaction should come from that alone. Nonetheless, you know what? On this journey, I met like so many cool people, like the coolest people I've ever met before. I've made some of the best friends I've ever made. You know, we're all into personal development, and not just in game, but we just hang out and have fun time. Go out and just sometimes we just party and get drunk. Fuck it, you know. It's not always about gaming 24/7. And I've also met some of the coolest girls ever. And yo, to be honest, yeah, some of them I got friend zoned, but they're fucking cool as fuck. So I don't really care, because it's people are people. And I think I'm coming to that realization that after doing a year of game, even when I was doing that 30-day challenge, and when I was like going through that cycle, and I was telling myself that, you know, I'm doing it for my growth. I'm not attached to the outcome, and that I'm gonna get this part of my life handled. I was still chasing something. That's why it still hurt to do game. It's very hard to explain for me right now. Probably should have thought it out before, but it's like I was just trying to fill one hole with something else. Like I was just trying to fill my loneliness with game. And then by me stopping game, I was like trying to, again, I was just trying to do the opposite of it and seeing if that worked, but it was actually the same thing. So doing game and not stopping game, it wasn't important what I was doing. It was more important where it was coming from. And I feel like only recently that I've kind of just been able to like chill out and just enjoy fucking living life. And now I'm actually just trying to I'm not even trying to think of terms in terms of game and like pickup. Yeah, for sure, there's certain techniques and shit like that. I'll still do it. It's because it's just fun, right? Who doesn't like to do the claw or spin a girl? It's fun as fuck. But it feels different now. I feel like more free. If you asked me a year ago, after I did that 30-day challenge, been like, oh wow, like you have like abundance now, do you feel free? I would answer yes, but on an emotional level, I would not feel like that. Like I would still get really antsy if girls don't text me back. I'll still be like waiting for their replies and shit. And I would just be like, I would just not be calm and mellow. Even on the dates, on the exterior, I'm like having fun and shit. But on the inside, I would be like so scared of ruining the interaction, ruining the date or whatever. But now, and to be honest, I still get afraid. It's still very scary for me to go on dates. You know, you don't want to fuck it up, right? But it's just, I'm just okay with myself. And I think that's the true beauty of game, which they always preach, no matter what school of game you come from, you know, like Mystery Method, RSD, Project Go, all of those guys, and even more, even the other schools of game and other teachers of dating. It's come to the realization that it's much more important, and ultimately all paths lead to the same place, which is you just end up working on yourself harder than you do at game. And that's where the true rewards come from, is when you're able to take the principles that you learn in interactions with women and apply them to your daily life and become just like a chill, cool dude who just is comfortable with himself, can express himself and feel good about himself regardless of the outcome. And it's not to say that doing that makes you like some kind of emotionless robot. If anything, you'll actually have more emotions because you're not afraid to feel your emotions now. And also, you're gonna go through more shit, more wild shit. So just by default, you're gonna be going through more emotional stuff. But you'll be a stronger person. You'll be able to handle those things. And I didn't realize that a year ago. It was like my external results were up there, but my inner game, even though I was like mentally, I could tell you all the inner game shit, it wasn't, I didn't really embrace it on an emotional level. So for all of you guys who are still either beginners, advanced, intermediate, like I'm still very much a beginner in this. I would just like to say that wherever you are in the journey, you should keep going, because you got to think about also like not yourself, but like the people that you could touch on this journey too, right? And I don't mean just physically touch. I mean like the cool people you'll meet, the like social circles you'll form. Like now, me and some of the wings that I've met while gaming, we even have like business social circles and stuff like that. And yeah, even like the cool girls you'll meet, you could even meet like your future wife. Honestly, you actually could. And I personally don't know anyone who has, but I do know people Oh, I'm still young, but I do know people who are in like beautiful long-term relationships from game. And if you just are able to get over your own bullshit, then you can really experience what life is all about, which is just, you know, people. And that's probably why game is so appealing too. It's just mastering the art of you and other people. And I was talking to a buddy of mine actually on the train a couple days ago, and he said that people are your mirror, they're a reflection of you. And with them, you can learn things like social cues, but you can also learn things about yourself. That's pretty much what I want to talk about in this video, because I just felt like my last video, I was extremely negative, unsure, and just doubtful of the whole process. But looking back on it a year later, I would have to say that the 30-day challenge is literally one of the best things I ever done in my life. I don't regret it for a second. All those things that I felt like were problems or baggage at that time, looking back on it, it only made me stronger and allowed me to prepare for the challenges that there's probably going to be so many more that are coming up and that have come up over the last year. That being said, guys, for those who are looking to take action, I would say go for it. I had so much comments and feedback from the last video on game, my 30-day challenge, and it was really awesome to see that. There's so many dudes out there who were in similar situations like me, either after breakups or they just really wanted to handle it. And you guys asked me all sorts of questions like, what's the best opener? Like, who's the best instructor? I would say the best one is fucking you. Like, my favorite opener now is, hi, I'm Richard. So try not to think too much about it and just go and get it. As always, have a great day and live the life that you want to live.